Hello friends, welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay, and happy Monday, by the way. Hope you all had a great weekend, and I hope you have a great upcoming week. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Eye Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. So once you hop on the live or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and to tell me where you are watching from. I'm live in 2 locations this evening, so if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person may be watching on a different platform. And as always, if you like what you see or you just want to help out my little channel, please feel free to share the craft love wherever you have permission. Don't be spamming me in any groups that you don't have permission to share me in. But if you wouldn't mind sharing it maybe to your personal profile, if you're on Facebook, also hit that the heart button and follow. If you are on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up button and subscribing to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. That just helps me get seen by new people. It also tells the algorithm that you like this kind of content. So hopefully you will start seeing more of not only my channel, but other creative channels like mine. And as always, tag your crafty friends and invite them to watch along with you. If I'm looking at my comments, Jason says good evening, and he is watching from the other side of the door. And as others hop on, we will acknowledge them. But let's go ahead and flip the camera since time is precious, and I will show you tonight's project. We are going to be using the Club Couture kit bundle for June 2026. It is called Nature's Candy. So you get the exclusive B-size transfer with every club bundle, and it is a monthly bundle. So it is a B-sized transfer. This one is Nature's Candy, so lots of cherries, which are very on brand right now. Cherries are everywhere. You also get you get a coordinating paste or ink samples. This month's happened to be paste in cherry and pesto. And then you also get a coordinating chalkable accessory. This one happens to be the 5x5 shelf sitter. So it is about 3/4 of an inch wide. So good and chunky. Great little shelf sitter. I'm not going to use mine tonight. I saw a fellow designer, Debbie Westbrook, with Refresh and Restyle. She made the cutest little jelly jar with a wood cutout, which I've had mine in my stash, but I did get this at Hobby Lobby a few years ago, so they might still have them in their spring shop collection. We're going to be using the transfer. I also pulled out, because I want to make it look like a the plaid jar lid on some of the name brand jelly jars. I pulled out Mini Buffalo Plaid. Most of you, if you have any of the If you've been around a while, you probably have this transfer in your stash. It is normally an 18 by 18 transfer. I do have some available. I also have some what I call scratch and dent transfers. So they've been used once or twice, but they're not new, but they are scratch and dent. So I do have those available. I probably have some pieces available. But if you've been a Club Couture member since at least February of 2026, you also have this in your stash. This is the polka plaid from February, and it came with the fabric bunny cutouts. So this one would also work, and I think it will fit on the jar. So that's what we're going to use this evening. And I apologize ahead of time. I am not prepared, and I'm as prepared as I usually am. So this one will probably be a long project because there's a few steps. This was from spring 2024, but I think they may carry them from year to year. So here is the SKU number if you want to look that up on their website. So I did cut the string off. I also removed the sticky, so this will be our front side. Move that stuff out of the way. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to faux stain the front with some Waverly Antique Wax. Get something else here, see if it'll focus on that. Let's see. I may have to just swap the camera real fast. Nope, not any better. I don't know why it went blurry all of a sudden. Let's see if I can get it to refocus. Hello? It does not want to refocus. There. I just turned the autofocus on and off, and that worked. Okay, so we're going to faux stain this with some Waverly Antique Wax. So I'm going to put on some gloves. And I just keep mine in an empty paste jar. It's a little easier to dip out of when I'm using a wipe or a paintbrush. I'm going to wipe out. Preferably a full one. Actually, I'll leave one out for my hands because I'll probably need it. Okay. So this is again Waverly Antique Wax. I use it as a faux stain because there's definitely there's no odor. And it dries really quick. It's not very messy, just soap and water cleanup. Sometimes I'll apply it with a brush, but when I'm in a hurry, a wet wipe will do. I like the brush seems to be a little darker, but when I'm in a hurry, the wet wipe works. And I will do the back side later. Usually when I'm like bulk faux staining stuff, I'll do the back sides first. That way, once it's done, it's actually done. I usually do the back and the sides first. This one has been laser cut, so the sides are already dark, so I'm not going to worry about those. Okay, pop the lid on that. Jason said it's such a cool technique. And then I reuse my gloves. So I'm just going to pop those somewhere to dry. And then speaking of dry, we'll get this dry. Pull out my heat tool. My embossing, it's basically an embossing tool, but so then we're going to distress this white once this is dry. So I got a sneak preview of the autumn 2026 products, the transfers, the heat transfers, and the new On Vogue base colors. So it releases July 9th. That's pretty good. Feels nice and dry. Okay, I'm going to get out a paper towel. Okay. And we're going to distress paint this. I normally have some antique or some Waverly Snow White, and I keep it in an old ink jar again, so because it's easy to dip my brush in. But that one has painted shut, so I can't get it open. So I have a big old thing of Apple Barrel White. It is not my favorite, but we will use it. So I'm just going to dip. Oops. Sometimes I use a dry brush. Sometimes I just wipe it on there and I paint. I just keep painting until I don't have any paint left on my brush. That's kind of how I get that. Oops, that is a lot of paint. I'm just kind of offloading some of it because I don't want to use all of that right now. Jason says watching me craft is just what he needs after a long day. Crafting and being creative is definitely therapy. The lazy person in me, however, just wanted to keep sitting on the couch, but now that I am painting, I'm glad I'm here. This Apple Barrel White it's just like glue. My friend Regina from Kitchen Confetti, that's how she describes this paint, and she is not wrong. Apple Barrel White is just like glue, but it'll work. I'm not going for perfect. Oh, fart. Especially with this paint. Yeah, this was, I'm gonna have to do some sanding to even out some of the paint strokes. So I flip it around because when I get to an edge, I like to paint off of the edge. It helps to it, then I'm not painting. If I bring my paintbrush back this way, then I'm going to get excess paint over the edges and on the sides, and I don't necessarily want that. So when I get to an end, I like to paint off of it. My jar is a little bit warped. Probably should have not painted it all white because I'm going to be doing some red, but that's okay. Layers. We're going to be doing layers. Okay, let's get that dry and see what we've got. So the Club Couture bundle is a monthly subscription mailed straight to your, that comes straight to your mailbox. It is, I believe, $25.99. There is a 3-month minimum commitment to sign up, but you can cancel at any time after that. It's a great way to get just a little creative bundle sent to your house every month. It always includes an exclusive B-size transfer. It always has a chockable accessory, and then it either comes with paste singles or ink singles. Look at that paint. Inky. I always just feel my paint. If it feels cool to the touch, it's still not dry, but that feels pretty dry. I'm going to give it a pretty good sanding just because it's, yeah, because I am going to layer it, and so I don't want my layers to get all gloppy. Let's get some tape. And then I'm going to get some red paint. Color match. Okay. So I'm going to make the middle part of the jar. I'm going to actually make the whole jar look like it's like a jar of cherry jelly. My synapses quit working for an instant there. I was trying to say jelly, but I was thinking jello and it just didn't want to come out right. Okay. I'm going to use my mat. So I know I want this part. Oops. I want this part to be my, up there to be my lid. So we're going to mark off the kind of the where the jelly, the label, and the jelly are going to go. I'm just, oops, that's not right. I'm going to go this way. Okay. I hope that's straight. We'll guesstimate. Nope, not enough. That's pretty good. Okay, I think that works, but actually it doesn't. Okay, I can't think. I need my, to go. Okay. So this part will be red and this part will be red. And then this part will be the label. Okay, so let's paint. And I want to try to figure out some sort of technique so that the red jelly portions are not just red paint. There's some sort of texture built in. I haven't quite figured out what that's going to be yet. But let's go ahead and get this painted. This is True Red. It's an Anita's color. I'm not even for sure you can buy Anita's paint anymore. I think that goes well with cherry. So how was everyone's weekend? had a good weekend. And we went on some adventures. I follow Country Craft Creations on YouTube, and then they have a group on Facebook called Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations, and Tamara is the store owner. She is an online paper crafting store, but she also has a physical location in Utah. So her and her granddaughters that help her in her business just launched a mobile scrapbook or paper crafting trailer that's going to be taken to different stores and locations and vendor events to sell her paper crafting products. They sell typical like Echo Park, Doodlebug, 49 and Market, Graphic 45, but they also carry their own line of papers that they manufacture and print. So I saw that they had opened up this mobile scrapbook trailer and figured it would only be around the Utah area, but I saw in the Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations that their first stop was going to be in Osage City, Kansas, of all places. Well, that's like the middle of nowhere, and this town is like 2,000 people. And I was thinking, of all the places to have your first stop, well, when I watched the live of the unveiling of the trailer, she mentioned that her daughter lives in Osage City, and they were having a pop-up vendor market, and so two birds, one stone. She came out to visit her daughter and drove the trailer. So, or daughter-in-law, daughter-in-law, daughter. And so Jason took me on my wild goose chase, and we shopped the trailer, and he let me buy he encouraged me to get what I wanted. So I did. I got lots of fun scrapbook paper. And then when we drove back to Salina, where we live, and there was a store called Rainbow Bricks opening downtown, and they sell Legos. So we did that. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. We saw parts of the state that we haven't seen much. The Flint Hills are gorgeous. The people that think that Kansas is all just what they see on I-70, especially out west, that is not indicative of what all of Kansas looks like. Yes, western Kansas is flat and boring. But the Flint Hills are gorgeous. There are other little nooks and crannies of Kansas that are gorgeous. And at least when it's flat and you can see for days, you can see storms coming for miles away. So that can be a positive. Definitely are not we're definitely prepared for when storms comes, because we can see them for days, literally. Okay, so there's that side of the jelly jar. We'll do the side. I still have to figure out if I have. Oh, there's a big paint booger. Got it. That was a long old paint booger. Oh gosh, now I have too much paint. Jason said it was a fantastic weekend. We love road trips. I think that's one of our goals in life, is just to, when we retire, just go on little weekend or weekend day trips, couple day trips, just to see the countryside. Jason loves to drive, and I love to be a passenger princess. Okie doke. Now I feel like I have red everywhere. As Jason says, he thought he was watching an episode of that pimple popping doctor. Yeah, that was a big old long paint booger. Okay, let's dry that. Paint out of the way. I don't want it to dry. So we're finally finally sitting down to use the Club Couture transfer for this month. I totally missed out on using it last month. Last month was not my favorite. I had a hard time figuring out how to actually use it, and then the month was over. Oh, Bonita said she got on just in time to hear the paint booger. Yeah, I had probably about 6-7 inches of paint booger. It's crazy. Yeah, so all this up here is paint booger. It's not the best paint job I've done, but I actually have some texture built in where I have my faux wax and then some of the white and then the red paint. So I might leave it like that. I still want to figure out what I thought about using some bubble wax with the paste, or trying to find a transfer that would add some sort of texture that would sort of kind of mimic jelly, since we're making a jelly jar. Yeah, I had this one in my stash. Well, the date on the tag said 2024. I think you can still get them at Hobby Lobby. Pretty sure. Stick that in there. Hopefully that doesn't come off. But there are larger ones. I think there also might be this size at Walmart, plus like the larger one that I got to use the red, white, and blessed. So until I figure out what we're going to do with the red, I think we're just going to put the label in the center, and then we're going to use, you can either use the mini buffalo plaid if you have it, or the February polka plaid transfer to make the gingham jar lid. And he says was in Hayes this weekend and bought 2 more. Was it this size or was it the larger size? Yeah, Jason, we had Remember, the red, white, and blessed was a larger mason jar, but it would still work. This one's the smaller one. Yeah. I have too much crud on my desk. Because this one is about 15 inches by 10. And that large mason jar was about 15 inches wide. Let's do, well, you paint with some bubble wrap, but I don't have any handy. I know what else I could do. So these are all, this is, when I'm done with transfers, I just put them in these piles. And I don't get them put back in, I don't get them put back where they go all the time. So they kind of have a holding spot till I put them away. So these are all of the kind of design or texture. That might work. It's not really what I want. Like, you could use some of the different textures. That one would work. That one would work. You could do leopard, leopard jelly. Of course, the one I'm looking for is probably on the bottom. I should just go there. It's not terrible. Yeah, see, I thought about using that. I don't know. Well, I don't mind the dots either. I just want to give it some texture so it's not flat. I don't mind that one. Just thought about using that. This one's not bad. This one would be perfect if you wanted to do red raspberry jelly. No. I'm toying between these two. I think I might do this one. So this one is the Good Things Start Here in 2023, and I think this may be in the Perks and Designers sale tab. Let's just go look real quick. Good Things Start Here. Oops. Let me turn that on. It is. I don't know if it's in the. It is 85% off. So like my 40% off pricing is $1.62. So let's use this one. And it's a really good bang for your buck transfer because it has a couple of patterns. It has this nice little cute little divider polka dot line, and then three phrases, my little book of happy things. So it was released to go with like the notebook. Good things start here, oh happy day, and then the sun, and then this herringbone type arrow. So it's a really good bang for your buck, especially at less than $5. Like I said, my 40% off pricing is $1.62. That rate, you could get a couple. So I'm just going to go over this with cherry paste. Cherry is a bit thick, so hopefully it'll go through the silk screen okay. So it kind of gives it just a really good texture, kind of makes it look like a jar of jelly. I'm going to come down here just so I can give that section a chance to dry. May have to clean it just because my paste is super thick and it's going to dry a little more in that silk screen than I prefer. Let's see. Oop, I should have waxed. It is pulling off my paint a little bit. I should have waxed. Dummy me. I'm just in too big of a hurry. But we'll just call it distressed and we will be good with that. I think that kind of looks like jelly. Trying to get it to where it's not so harsh. I should have probably started in the middle. not too bad. I'm just going to drop that down. Okay, I'm going to put this back in. I'm going to have to give that some TLC with some distilled water so it's not, it kind of looks like jelly, sort of, kind of. Okay, I'm going to go put this in my tub of water or my tub and spray it down with some water. Actually, I'll still need it for the top, but okay. Let's remove this up here. Get that dry up here. It's a little abstract, but I think it works. Okay. So then we're going to tape that area off, but I'm going to fuzz my tape up just a little bit, just so it's not so sticky, because I don't really want to peel up any of that paint and paste that I've just put down. Okay. Okay, look at my inspiration photo. She put a couple lines down. Oh no, she might have ribbon. Let me just download this. That way you can see what I'm seeing. So this is my inspiration photo from Debbie Westbrook's with Refresh and Restyle. Or yeah. She may have used ribbon on the between her jar lid and her jelly, but I might just use twine. I might not. Well, I can't tell, but this is my inspiration. I think we'll just go with this. So I'm going to pull out the polka plaid. So if you were a Club Couture member in February, this was the transfer that came with your kit. And I think I'm going to angle it. Let me see. I could also use the mini buffalo plaid. Hers is straight on. I don't think it really matters. Oops. But this one is a good option if you don't have buffalo plaid. I think I might use this just because I could almost I can get it done in one fell swoop. Trying to think. Candy apple might actually match my base paint color, so we might use that. Of course, it's probably, it looks just as dry. Oh, it's even drier. Ugh, my poor paints. All my pastes. I've neglected them. Let's see. I don't really want to open another one, but I have a new one. Actually, before I do that, let's just add some water. I might be able to, because that's a lot of paste to waste. So I'm going to add some distilled water. Give that a good stir. I need to just take some paste to work and do this on my lunch hour. Oh gosh, do a couple a day. Yeah, I don't know if that's working. It usually kind of clumps into this ball first before it kind of releases itself. That's kind of how you know it's working. But you want to try to use distilled water, because regular water may encourage things to start growing, because this is these are natural products and ingredients. So things will start growing. So you want your paste to be kind of a yogurt or sour cream consistency. I'm making a mess. Oh boy. Okay. Ow. My hand. Get that wiped up before it gets all over everything. Okay, let's try this. That's better. It's at least spreadable. So this is candy apple. a little bit more. Ooh, I have a mess. And it didn't work. The paste is too dry. It's not bad. I can go back over it, but my paste is, when your paste dries out like that and gets stiff, then it doesn't go through the silk screen very well, and that's what you end up with. So take care of your paste so that they don't dry out like that. Kind of clean some of this up so I don't end up with red everywhere. Okay. I think we're going to experiment. Who's it again? Okay. That stuff. Okay. I'm going to use my base paint that I used to paint the jar. I'm going to add it to a little bit of this tintable medium. It's just kind of like a thick white painting paste. So I'm going to kind of create my own paste. Hopefully. I've used this before, so you just have to mix a little bit of paint with it. They say a little bit goes a long way. I'm going to get a color tray out. And this is silkscreen friendly. I'm just going to get I'm going to get a little bit out. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby. I don't know if it's still available because they have, you think it looks just like a jar lid. It's a wee bit distressed. It's a little bit more distressed than I would like. So we're just going to add a little bit of paint just to tint it. It may end up a little more pink than I would prefer because of the white base, but I think I might get a skosh of brown. Like a tiny drop, just to kind of hopefully take some of the pink out. Like itsy bitsy little tiny drop of brown. Look at that, y'all. I think I made my own cherry paste. Okay, so we're going to get our transfer back out. Going to use a different section, maybe. And then get a squeegee. Still might be a little more pink than I would prefer, but it definitely spreads better. And I kind of just keep this on hand, like for times like this where I just need a little bit. I don't really want to work on doctoring up my paste, or I want a specific color match, or if I don't have anything else on hand, like if I don't have a backup tub of paste, then I can create my own. I think I just ruined it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. I didn't line it up properly, so it just all looks weird. Okay, so let's just move on to, we're just gonna move on to the design. I'm gonna go take this to my tub of water and spray it down. Okay, so we'll just, I will fix that jar lid. I'll probably just sand it off, and we may just go with the silver lid. So I'm going to take this off. And we're going to take both of these off. Oops. And we'll do the label. Okay, I am going to wax that a little bit because I forgot to wax the red parts. So I'm just using some wax to, getting red paste everywhere. I'm going to put some wax down to protect my white painted surface. I forgot to do that on the red, and you might be able to see down there where it pulled up some of my red paint. So this is just going to act as a protective barrier between my painted surface and my transfer. This is definitely going to be a vintage jar of cherry jam. Yeah, I think I'm just going to, I'll sand all that off, and it will just be a silver lid like we did on the red, white, and blessed. So again, long project, or short project long. This is your exclusive B-size transfer for the Nature's Candy Club Couture kit this month. I'm actually going to cut around the label. And then I also probably need to write on the back, because this is reusable. I want to make sure I note the back side so that I can place it on the right side when I am finished designing with it. So we're also going to fuzz it, just to knock back a little bit of that adhesive. going to use some placement tape. Since I cut down here, my edge is a little short. I'm going to also fuzz this so it doesn't pull off any of the teal portion of my transfer. Also going to put some on the edge. Okay. Look at my, she did sweeter, the cherries. Okay, so I'm gonna need a few multi-tools probably, and the detail tool. And so let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and use this stuff. We're going to do the word sweeter on the inside. I'm going to use a multi-tool. Oops, shoot. Okay. So I'm going to pull this part up so that I can release my silk screen. Oops. Probably just messed that all up. That's going to be a very vintage label. I'm having issues this evening. Okay, so we're going to use pesto on the rest of that. Except for the cherries up here. Oops. Can't see my comments. probably stop and peel that off. I got a little carried away. So I'm peeling it so that it doesn't dry in the silk screen area, which it kind of did up there. If it dries in the silk screen and you go to pull it up, then it's going to pull up the paste, which it did there. Okay, well, we've got lots of fixing to do. Or we may just embrace the vintage look. Okay. Do this vintage scale. Okay, I'm going to get the detail tool out. Maybe. So I'm going to use this for the cherries. And then I think I'm also going to use it for ooh. Kind of made a mess of that. Got a few spots that I need to fix. Okay. Oh gosh. Okie doke. Let's get, there's a few other elements off of here that I want to pull off, like this little guaranteed 100% fresh. That little piece off, so we might stick it. Probably should fuzz it a little bit. Jason says, embrace the vintage. Oh, it's distressed. Oh, this is a mess. I think I have more on my fingers than I do. That one's cute. I can't decide whether I should probably add a few cherries on the side. Or I could use the words like organic, nature's candy. Okay. I think I'm wearing more red than my jar is. I don't think I want that, but I don't know what I want. Yeah, I do. I think we'll do that. Okay, we'll do nature's candy. Oh gosh, that's going to be a mess. Just want to dry that a little bit because I want to put the word organic. Right up above it. Perfect. I think that redeemed it a little bit. I could put a couple of this little cherries cute, but I know I'm going to end up going it a bit too far pretty soon if I don't stop. Or should I just stop? I shouldn't have used this one because it's just the outline of the cherry. Okay, I'm just going to peel that part up. And then I know the stems aren't green, But this one is going to be green. I like that. I think we'll just get this small cherry here and be done. Butchering up my transfer, but that's okay. Okay. I think that tintable base worked great. So I'm gonna, as I peel it up, I'm holding it down with my left middle finger just to make sure I keep my placement correct. And again, I know stems aren't green, but using the two colors that I was given. Okay, now I'm done, except for fixing some of the boo-boos. Okay, I'm a mess. So this is what the label ended up looking like. I think it turned out pretty cute. I do have, like, I should probably fix this side a little bit. My words didn't come out the greatest. I'm gonna fix my lid. I think I'm just gonna go with the silver lid. This is what it looks like. Not too shabby. I'll fix the lid. I'll add a cute little messy fabric tassel or bow. And then we'll have a cute little mason jar. Okie doke. Thanks for hanging out with me and watching me make errors and trying to fix them. Thank you for watching me. Thanks for hanging out with me while I do this month's Club Couture project. I will be live again on Wednesday. I'm hoping to use one of the Toy Story releases, so be watching for that. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Again, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for supporting me, and I will see you on my next video. Thanks for watching.